It finishes 1 apiece. Next up, by the way, for United in the Europa League is Porto away. So a big test for the Premier League side there. Frank Leboeuf remains with us. Overall, another frustrating match if you're a Manchester United fan.
They do, under this manager, they do mediocrity better than any top team.
Yeah.
There is rarely a spark. And we saw it again. They've played a lot of poor teams this season and they haven't got a lot of wins. When they did play a really good team, they got spanked in Liverpool. He's got, as you mentioned, Spurs at the weekend, who are getting a bit of steam up, a bit of momentum. You've got Porto away, and then they've got Aston Villa. He's already, and we talked about this before the international break, he's already teetering. But my God, we talked about this at the end of the season. Yeah. We said they will be, with this man, they will be in this position very early next year, where we are talking about their performances, about his tactics, and about his position at the club. And we didn't have a crystal ball, but pretty much every one of us here sat around this studio after the cup final, even after they won, and said, he's not the guy to take them forward. And yet they dilly-dallied and they said they couldn't find anybody, and he's basically keeping the seat hot till they do find somebody. But they may have to, if they have a bad 3 games, they may have to do the dirty and then wait and see, i.e. if Ruud van Nistelrooy's in there, he might have to take the hot seat until somebody comes along. But trust me, it's just... The way I would describe United every time I watch them is flat. Yeah. Just flat.
Yeah, there's nothing you can hang your hat on, is there? That you can say, oh, there's definitely improvement there. We're seeing that much better than last season. It's bang average.
Bang average. And is it a surprise? I mean, let's be honest. You look at the front four. Xerxes doesn't look like a centre-forward. He certainly doesn't look like an accomplished goal-scorer. Rashford's been off form for nearly 2 years. On the right-hand side, you've got the young kid who's learning his trade.
And Bruno's completely out of form at the moment.
Who we know is capable, but when was the last time we saw it?
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be surprised when, even though they have the ball and they get forward, that they're not scoring enough goals or creating real chances. Listen, the goalie made 2 really good saves. But we're not sitting here going, well, this should have been 3 or 4 because of the chances. I mean, if you look at the stats, 19 shots, you're like, wow. But actually, the goalkeeper, as I said, made 2 saves out of 19. I mean, it's not good enough.
They're beating Southampton, they're beating Fulham, match day 1. They got a draw against Palace. I mean, FC Twente, you know, they're sitting, I think, 4th in the Dutch league. Yeah. But come on, they got.
But you can see by the celebrations at the end what it meant to Twente.
Yeah, exactly. Which is to them, you know, it's Manchester United. It's this potentially big scalp, but in reality, although it was a great night for them, in reality, this team is, you know, they're not that difficult to play against. So, yeah, well, it's not surprised to see where we're at this stage. There must be discussions behind the scenes, but these 3 games coming up, they're good sides. Yeah, they're all good sides. Now, you know, he could turn it around. Maybe they'll turn it around and they'll get some results from.
He'll do what he's done over the last 3 years. He'll get a result just when he's on the edge. Right. He'll get a result.
Yeah, Tottenham will boss him, and then somehow United will win the game.
Tottenham are as bad in front of goal as United. Yeah. Tottenham can boss the game for fun, and not score any goals, and United end up winning 1-0.
But obviously, Craig brought it up, and Stevie as well, Frank. Look at that front four. They're not walking into any other big club, are they, across Europe? So how much is it Ten Hag's fault? You know, if you've got this personnel, what can you do with it?
Well, I was watching the first 11 and the subs. You have Garnacho, Mainu, Højlund and Mount. I mean, with those 16 players, no, 15 players, you can have a hell of a team. And we have nothing with individuals who are, you know, ranked as not maybe their best, but quite of those are very good rank and very well.
Really, Frank? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about, Frank?
Well, I'm saying everybody can agree that Fernandes playing for Portugal is a fantastic player, and Rashford has proved in the previous years that he was a talented player, and he disappeared. And maybe it's because the coach is not doing what he should do to make those individuals playing together their best ways. That's what it is. I think it's all about, when I see him from the touchline, it's like there is nothing. I see a guy not really talking, not living the game as well. And I saw the Twente coach completely different, being almost the 12th man, feeling the game, you know, cheering up his players, giving advices and whatever he could give. And you see Ten Hag and you see nothing. You see an ice. That's it. And that's not enough. For me, what I see Manchester United and what I know about Manchester United, it was about hit. It's about going for it, being positive. And you don't feel that. You feel that players don't know what to do. They are questioning themselves. It's like they don't know each other. It's very worrying for me.
But he signed, I presume, you know, Mount they pushed for. Zirkzee signed, Anthony, who wasn't involved there, he signed. Ugarte played, he's only just getting his fitness. Højlund, they signed. You know, we talked about Tottenham there, the next team. They've had an up and down start to the season, but again, they've played some great football.
Right.
And then you look at the opposition here, FC Twente, and then you think about coaching, you think about Unai Emery. Were Villa in a better or worse position than Man United when Unai Emery took over? They were nearly down the bottom of the league. Right, they're in the Champions League. They go to Young Boys of Bern, who I would imagine is kind of similar standard to FC Twente. They wallop them.
Yeah.
They have a difficult 20 minutes, and then they wallop them. Coaching. That's what it is. Yes, it's recruitment. Villa have recruited, by the looks of it, better. They also have a better coach. They have an understanding of what they're doing. This just continues to be a lack of any sort of pattern here. Well, there is. There's a pattern, which is not good. But there's nothing that's sitting. But we never sit back and go, well, look what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Other than that first half against Palace, it's almost like when you watch United, they're reacting to the opposition. And so when the opposition cough the ball up, then they get a break, then all of a sudden there's a feeling that you might get something. It's never, other than Palace, it's never the other way around. It's never them dominating and looking to create and putting the opposition under pressure. It's just... It's almost like he's shoving them out and going, come on then, you know what you're on.
There's an international break after the next 3 games.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting.
How many times have we seen when this break comes along, the owners, CEOs or whatever go, right, let's just do it now, gives us a bit of time. Now, if he wins the 3, if he gets good results in these 3 tough games, and they are tough, then he's going to obviously save a lot of red faces at boardroom level.
Yeah.
And he's going to save his own bacon for the time being. There is absolutely no way in this world, if Tottenham beat them, Porto beat them and Villa beat them, there is absolutely no way he can remain the Man United manager. At the international break, they're going to have to take the egg off their face and fire him. Right, now, if he gets a tune out of the players, he's going to save his job. But to me, and I said when he came back off the last international break, I think we all did, these games would be important. But he was playing the cannon fodder. Southampton, Palace have a bad start, and a relatively average team in the Europa League. The next 3 are not. No. They are not. So he's under pressure.
It just feels like a matter of time.
The thing that
It does.
That's what it feels like.
Go on, Frank.
Yeah, I really think that it shows to the world that some people were in charge of keeping or not keeping a coach or recruiting players know nothing about football. I mean, everybody agreed, and I think we are legit to talk about that winning the FA Cup was like a curse to Manchester United, because they had to keep Ten Hag because they won the FA Cup, or let's say it was more like a bad gift. And everybody felt that. If all former players, now pundit, could feel that Ten Hag is not the right guy for Manchester United, because we know Manchester United. We saw them playing for decades, and we all know the mentality that they have and the way they want to play and the history of the club. And Ten Hag doesn't represent nothing of that. So I think it shows a lot about people, making decisions there.